Hey, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. Let's talk about Prok and heavies, working the hill on the east and working in the middle with a platoon mate. I've loaded in with Rocket, another CARTL member. We're top tier heavies on Prok. You'll note that we only have one arty on each side. In addition, we've got a failed platoon down at the bottom. The AMX-ELC has drug in a Skoda T24, a tier 5 medium into a tier 8 battle. That tier 5 would not ever see a tier 8 unless he actually platooned with a scout, which has scout matchmaking, so don't do that. This is an encounter mode. You'll notice fairly soon that the enemy will put 2 tanks onto the cap, attempting some early cap pressure. This is in general a really bad idea. It takes your tank out of the fight. You hide on cap and you attempt to hide and not be involved. I would much rather have your tank in the game. You'll notice eventually that it is actually the Bulldog that does this, which is extremely useful on this map for spotting, but he is not being useful as he hides out on the cap. We've got an IS-3 myself. The 304 is taking a position there that he can cover cap and probably over to the 5-6 line. That's an excellent position for the 304, plus he can shoot onto the back side of this hill if there's anybody there. As we continue up here, you'll see they've jumped onto the cap. We've also got the ELC on the cap. Who dies quickly? And that's one of the big problems with attempting to be on the cap. You get the enemy on the back side of their hill. If you get spotted, they can shoot you. For the enemy's part, once we get up on the hill, if they get spotted, we can shoot them. We've got the middle being controlled, and over on the west side, a Pershing and a couple TDs, which should be enough to hold it for a little bit, depending on how serious they get about pushing. You can already see that a couple of their heavies are up top here. And I'm just going to shoot at that Tiger on the way over because I want to get to this position down a little lower behind these bushes, which is an excellent spot to control this hill. I will have some shots down onto the cap, more if I move up in a potato, but I will also be able to hit any of the enemy that pops up over on the 0 line. That's a waste of a shot. I was trying to knock down those buildings right there. There's actually 2 in the way, so it takes a while to chew through them. You can see that they're topping over on my right. I don't actually notice this initially because I'm enamored of that Tiger 1, and we find him, snap a shot there. I actually get spotted, but I do know that they've got 3 of their heavies on the back side of that hill, and now 1. The other one happens to be down there. So it's unlikely that I'm going to take too much aggro from their 5-6 line. So the danger of this spot where I am, this bush, is being spotted by their guys popping over, which is what happened to me, and then having 3 or 4 tanks right here wreck me by shooting me on the side. But because I'm counting noses, I know the WZ's there. They had 3 heavies, now 2 here, and some other guys scattered around. Plus Rocket's been poking up and we've been talking. I'm fairly certain there's actually nobody there, and if there is someone, it's someone small. Continue to control this hill, then looking for an opportunity to push off the back of the hill. You can see that their early cap pressure hasn't done much for them other than keep some tanks out of the fight. And the RHM is able to nuke the IS-6. Now I have the opportunity to move forward. There's still some guys on the back side there, but they've been punished enough. I don't suspect they're going to poke anymore. So now let's get up here. Unlucky, right over the top of his turret. And I got spotted. No surprise, it's a Bulldog. And I was right up inside the bush. I'll just pull back. Again, I'm not too concerned with anything on the 5-6 line based on what I'm seeing. I am concerned about getting hit on the right side from the guys poking over, but I do have the IS-3 backing me up and another heavy behind me. Keep looking for this WZ. Pretty useless position for him right there. Little pause in the action as we consider I'm actually talking to Rocket. He starts taking some shots from the side over there. So he is having some guys push over on him. Their RHM is on the 1 line, and that can be very problematic for the middle. I'll talk about that for just a second. This is a great spot for controlling that back side of the hill and for controlling anybody right here. What happens though is if they push along the 1, which is what's happened, and sweep our guys out, it's very vulnerable to crossfire from over here on the west, and that's what you're going to end up seeing happen to Rocket. We're discussing it, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it for him right now. So one of the things I don't like about splitting up your platoons, you can see that the IKV and the Comet are swarming the AT. That's a crit, no damage, doesn't even hurt him, and the WZ will be done here in a moment, so that's good. So immediately, Rocket just got killed. I realize we've got to do something about this backside of the hill because we need to expand our control of the map a little bit. We're pushed back into about a quarter of the map. They're folding over from the southwest on us. And I realize there's only a tank or two, and one of them's relatively small. I see the IS-3 has the same idea, and off he goes. Takes that guy out, gets thumped by the IS-3, and I'll come down here. I'm looking for a ram. Get as much speed coming downhill as possible. He gets tracked. I get some damage on a ram. I'm going to eat a shot right here, put one into him. Try to ram, but don't have enough. Now I back up. I know there's a guy behind me. There we go. So one thing you want to be careful about is face hugging when there's somebody back there trying to shoot. You'll have to play that one by ear. Sometimes that's your best bet, is to face hug them so they can't get to your lower plate. But at the same time, you'd like to try to get out of the way if you've got allies around who have shots. Unfortunately, I switched to gold to take on the IS-3, and I don't even think about it. I probably needed to go back to AP, and I'll end up shooting this gold, but I didn't really need to. So I'm going to head over here to the north, to the 6 line. I'm pretty sure there's nothing up on that hill, based on we didn't take any shots as we popped over. Plus, I'm counting noses. There's only 4 of them left, and I know where 3 of them were last. My suspicion is that the 304 is right there at the 5 and 6 line, and I'll probably find him over here. The RHM's a bit out of position, and the Comet is working in the south. It is possible, though, I get lit here and hit by the RHM, but I'm going to take that chance. And we are winning by quite a bit. So really at this point I'm just looking to go get as many hit points as I can. And this is going to change a decent game at 2,000 hit points, and I likely win into a ace tanker. I choose that one first because as soon as I popped over, I noticed that 3601 appears to be AFK. So I'll kill the guy that's playing, come down here, ram him, get another shot in, and he's dead. Looks like my own already fired in there. This is an unbelievable shot. That's not this one. So I get one on him, had him highlighted. And this next shot I'm just going to take, because why not? I don't actually have him lit up, but I'm going to fire, and it drops right over the ridge. Holy cow. So remember, at range, your shell is going to drop, so it's got a slight arc. And when you've got a guy right over the top of a ridge like that, or right below the top of a ridge like that, sometimes you can drop that shell right on top of him. You probably missed that shot, I don't know, 99 times out of 100, maybe even more. But he was hiding down below there, and there was no way I was going to get those hit points unless I took that shot, so I just fired it. And I'd be reloaded by the time I got up there, had he survived anyway. And there goes the Comet. So we end up with 3,300 damage, an ace tanker in the Tiger II, and an example of how to work Prok as a heavy and working together as a platoon. One of the few times where I suggest splitting up as a platoon. If both of us had been here, that would not have been as near as effective as one of us here and one of us up here to support each other. And again, early cap pressure, don't do that. It's pretty much useless the entire time. Alright guys, I hope this helps. Take it easy.